And she had a pretty picturesque, beautiful life with a great husband, great wedding, great friends, and our blessing of we got to have her live next door to us. And while that was a blessing, it was also a curse the morning that my wife was on the front porch and the sheriff's department flew by and pulled in the driveway. And I was in the bedroom, and Kim said she knew at that moment what she was going to find. And the screaming and the horror of that day will live on in our life. That will never go away.
The repercussions of suicide, I had no idea the ripple effect that it would cause, the pain, the hole in the family, just that missing. She was so bubbly and had this cute giggle and this big smile, and she was the light of the party. And the three kids got along so well. And then to bring us all together, we still have our wonderful boys, and they've got great families, but we all feel this big empty hole, and it hurts, and they hurt. There was just this sadness that she couldn't share, but she got into physical fitness. She was dedicated to 3-hour days and working out really, really hard, but that was her method of controlling her body. And then when she got pregnant with Annika, she worked out. She was deadlifting 190 pounds the day before, and she was so tiny the day before Annika was born. She jumped right back into it 2 weeks later, too early, but 2 weeks later. After a couple of months, she started having back pains, her medicine was working out, and so she had to keep doing that. So she fought through the aches and pains in her back. When Annika was 8 months old, she came back in from the gym. We were all on vacation together, and she walked back in the room, and she was sobbing hysterically, and she had hurt her back. That was the last day, that morning was the last day that she was ever able to pick up Annika again. And she fought through so many, trying to figure out what was wrong with her back. And she had numerous procedures, and with no outcome that helped her. And I actually think some of them made it worse. And then it got to where she was only able to be upright for maybe, in the last 18 months, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a day. So she loved Annika with all her heart. And what happens now is she's not able to do the things with Annika, to take her places, to give her a bath, to do things with her that she felt she wanted to do. And she felt that was making her a great mom. And by losing the ability to do those things and to be that perfect mom in her eyes, because when we watched her, she was great.
She was a perfect mom.
She was a perfect mom. She was wonderful. But she couldn't see that because she had such a high expectation for herself. And that created this gradual downward spiral with the worse her back got and the less time she was able to be up and to do things with Annika. She couldn't take her to the park by herself. She couldn't put her in the car by herself. And that just really wore on her emotions deeply, because she often said, I have the perfect life. If I just had my health. And she loved her family. Taylor and Annika were everything to her. She loved them more than anything in this world. For her to take her life, it's just, and there's no note, no letter to Annika, no note to me, to Taylor, to any of us.
That's very
happened.
Uncharacteristic of her.
It is. It's so uncharacteristic. The mind is something that we just don't understand. And I can't explain this, but I just know that the repercussions of that, she might have felt like at the time that, and she did, that she was a burden to Taylor, that she wasn't able to be the mom. And she was such a perfect mom, but she wasn't able to be the mom she wanted to be. That we would be better off her family would be better off without her.
Kim and I talk about this, that if Brittney knew the kind of hole that suicide creates, she would never have done this. After what we've seen, and in fact, as parents, we kind of go, well, we'll come see the Lord. We don't need to be here anymore either. But we would never put anyone through the thought of suicide because of the hole it leaves in society, in your family, in the community, and each other. And so that is something that we just hope nobody ever has to experience.
Losing Brittney has been the hardest thing that either of us have ever faced. It's created a pain that is so devastating that at times it would take our breath away. It was hard to breathe. It was hard to pull herself up off the floor. And now
I would catch her in a closet, in the dark closet, crying. And on occasion she'd call me and I'd come home, but I just said, look, it's okay to cry, but sit out there in that sunlight. Sit out there and get out of the dark and cry and let the light shine. And for the most part, she took my advice, but I still caught her a few more times that she didn't. But I think as each day goes by, and our faith and our strength in helping others is more evident now than ever before, then we find strength in that.
Right.
Our purpose is simply to help those that are left behind move forward with the strength of the Lord, with the passion that Brittney would want us to live life, help our boys, help our granddaughter, help our friends. So doing a video like this is not easy, particularly in the short term that a year and a half seems like a long time, but it's not when you spend half of that time in a closet crying, basically, and both of us sometimes together. But getting out and letting people know that the good Lord has plans for us and that we try to strive to help folks in our community and those that might be dealing with what we're dealing with.